Today we are taking over at Sporting in Portugal, in Lisbon. They have been champions for 20 different occasions and 17 times cup winners. We take over this Sporting side, not only trying to make them, confirm them as the best team in Portugal, but make them the best club in Europe. However, there is one rule that we will have to follow. The rule that means we can only buy players of 23 or under. We will use the gegenpressing tactical vision with Sporting. I've also hired a 5-star, 4-star scout, Francisco Parella, to find us some Portuguese talents for the next 9 months. We've also done quite some business. Harda, who has been added to the roster newly, has gone out on loan for 2 years. Muniz goes out on loan to Burnley. And then we've sold Diogo Pinto, 4th string goalkeeper. Mateus Reis, 28 now, he's only 78. 20 million he goes to Newcastle. Fatabu has left to Leicester in real life, so we've sold him for 15.7 million to Wolves. And Katamo has gone to Al Ittihad in Saudi Arabia for 19 million. Which means that we are left with this squad. Edwards, Gyökeres, the top striker, and Gonçalves, certainly the strongest players of this side. The goalkeeper is a bit dodgy, he's only 23 though, Israel. Inacio is a top talented centre-back, just like Diomande. I want to build the team around those. Just like Hjulmand as well, he's 24, 80 overall. Braganza is 24, 76 overall, the captain. Fresneda, very talented right back, 1872. And this formation is a bit weird. We certainly need a better left back because we have a 30-year-old right back on that position right now. Maybe a better centre midfielder, I'm not so sure. Morita is also on the bench. We've also just sold both centre midfielders, Morita to Napoli for 20 million and Menino to Gaziantep for 1.9 million. Meaning that we now have 90 million to go in for 3 players, but only 23 or under, let's remember that. And so to spend those 90 million wisely on 23 or under players, we first go in for a new left back, because that's where we lack the most. It is Miguel Gutierrez coming in from Girona for 31 million. The second player we move for is a centre midfielder, as we have let go of some. He's only 20 years of age, from Tottenham Hotspurs. It is Pape Matar Sarr joining us for 24 million from the Premier League. And finally, a backup striker who will shoot up in overall in the upcoming seasons, just like Sporting do the business. He's just moved to Monaco, but we have picked him up from there. 16-year-old George Ilenikena joining us from Monaco for 5 million. I mean, now that bench looks much better with Sarr in there, who certainly will chop and change with Braganza. I leave it like that because Braganza is still the captain. Santos Trincao on the bench with Ilenikena, 16-year-old French, 70 overall player. The only player who gets into the start 11 is 22-year-old left back Gutierrez. Of course, this season we will be in the Europa League alongside Atalanta, Sturm Graz and Rakov, because in real life last season with Sporting we defend our title as Portuguese League champions. Just about 2 points ahead of Benfica and 3 ahead of Porto in third. We even double up as we also win the Portuguese Cup against Varennes of all teams in the final 2-1. In the Europa League we came second in our group to Atalanta. We played in the preliminary rounds against Napoli and we overcame them 3-2. Round of 16 we even overcame Liverpool, wow. Quarterfinals we got knocked out to Galatasaray. Very narrowly, 4-3 on aggregate. And in the end it is Milan defeating Galatasaray to win the Europa League. Next season will be in the Champions League, and there it is a remake of the final 2 years ago. Inter defeating Man City though on penalties. And finally an all-Turkish affair in the Conference League final, wow. Fenerbahce against Beşiktaş, what a final that must have been. It goes to Fener. Pedro Gonçalves is our front man, 21 goals, talisman, 11 assists, 17 for Gyökeres, 14 for Santos, Gyökeres up to an 85. Our squad is looking very nice. I mean, most of the players actually around the 80 overall mark. Fresneda is still very young. Braganza is now 80 overall, so he's developed very nicely. Sarri is 4 years younger and he's 81 though, so he will start from now on. Gonçalves 85, a very good front line. I would say a very successful first season. Quarterfinals in the Europa, winners of both Liga Portugal and Taça Portuguesa. Very, very good first season. Let's jump into the second one, in the Champions League, of course. To start off the second season, we have sold a couple of players. Ricardo Esgaio to West Ham, Muniz to LAFC for 3 million, 4 million for Coindredi to Bologna, third string goalkeeper Silva to Rakov, Vinagre to Porto of all teams for 4 million, and then Justo for 3 million to Fiorentina, and Kovacevic, last but not least, for 4.5 million to Real Sociedad. We have very much cleared out the squad. We only have 3 reserves left. All 3 of those returned from loan, just like Esteves, who is now the backup right back. We make our first signing, as we still cannot buy players over the age of 23. We go in for Barcelona fringe player, centre back, in Eric Garcia, coming in from Barcelona for 22 million. A second player I couldn't pass up the opportunity on is a 22-year-old new right back. We were a little bit weak on the full-back positions, now we are really strong, as we have gone in for the right back from Lille, Thiago Santos, for 17 million. We have stretched our budget to the extreme to bring in one more player, a goalkeeper, 22 years old, from France, from LOSC Lille. It is Lucas Chevalier joining us for 30 million from France, from Lille. Chevalier is our new starting goalkeeper, 2280, a lot of potential. Otherwise, we have both Garcia, 2379, the new centre-back, on the bench, as well as Thiago Santos, 2277. We have loaned out Esteves, and so the reserves are looking like this. We are trying to get Hardrent, maybe also Ribeiro, one more loan move. But otherwise, this team is really coming together nicely. President at the halfway point of season number 2, and we are comfortably, extremely comfortably in top spot. 12 points out of Braga and 19 points out of Benfica in the league. We've also made it out of the group, just behind on same points than Inter and 1 point ahead of Victoria Pilsen. What have they done? I would have expected them with 1 point and Lille with 10. Oh well. Round of 16, we will face Manchester City, of course, the leg of the Champions League round of 16. We are massive underdogs against Man City, at home the first leg, and it's a 2-1 win. How did this happen? Miguel Gutierrez and Pedro Gonçalves score for us. De Bruyne gave City the equaliser, but that's not enough for them. Second leg in Manchester. Can we once again cause pain to the citizens? That is the big question here. And yes is the answer. Pedro Gonçalves with a brace. Haaland gave them one back. But we, shockingly, knock out Man City in the round of 16 of the Champions League. And of course, if it rains it pours, we had to face the biggest team we could. After Man City, it is Real Madrid, first away from home. Let's get through it here at the Santiago Bernabeu, and we lose 2-1. Vini with a brace. Jumland gave us the lead, but yeah. Let's hope and pray for a comeback in the second leg at home, with our home support being there for us at the José Alvalade in Lisbon. And it's a 1-1 draw, which means that we go out. Pedro gave us the equaliser. Bellingham scored for Madrid. There you go, that we are the champions of Liga Portugal by 16 points. What a season we had. Only 2 losses in 34 matches, 84 points. We don't win the double this time though, as Braga defeat Rio Ave in the final of the Portuguese Cup. We have been knocked out quite early and in embarrassing fashion by Benfica 4-0 in the round of 16. While in the end the Champions League goes to Real Madrid, the ones who knocked us out, the Kings of Europe. They are there for a reason, and they are called that for a reason. They've defeated PSG in the final. Galatasaray win, surprisingly, the Europa League over Celtic. And finally, PSV win a star-studded Europa Conference League final over Juventus. We are looking at an 87 rated Pedro Gonçalves with 20 goals, 3 assists, 19 goals for Santos, his backup actually, great. 82 rated, 14 goals for backup striker Ileni Kena. More goals than for Gyökeres. That is a bit weird, but oh well. 9 for Edwards, 7 even for Braganza. We are also looking at a very good squad. They are developing in a nice fashion. Gutierrez 84, Yulmand 84, We have Inacio at an 86 at 23 years of age. Diomonde 21, 83. Santos, the new man, up to an 80 overall. Sar 83. We've had a very good season, second season with Sporting, even though the manager rating suggests otherwise. But we've won Liga Portugal by a big margin. Round of 16 in the Portuguese Cup was a bit disappointing. Quarterfinals in the Champions League was good though, as we knocked out Man City on our way to the quarters. So I'm really excited to see what this team can achieve in Season 3. After selling a few players, which I'm showing you in just a minute, we have about 92 million, and so our first signing goes into a player whose contract is expiring. Right winger from Molenbeek for 23 million. Surprised nobody picked him up. Ernest Nuama. Second player coming into the club, a centre back. You might know him if you watch my Birmingham City career mode, but he was the best option, a Brazilian. He's replacing Saint-Just, who has been sold. He comes in for 34 million from PSG. This is Lucas Beraldo. I told you I'd show you who we have sold. So Saint-Just goes to Atletico Madrid for 19 million. Nazinho, left back. That's why we should bring in a new left back. Has been sold to Osasuna. Harder to Dundee, a striker they picked up in real life. And Esteves to Porto of all clubs. 6.5 million we got there. The next deal we strike, and the final one for this third season, is a left back who will chop and change with our current one. It is Quilinci Hartmann joining us for 27 million from Inter. His contract was expiring. So for now, no one of our players goes into the starting 11, the players we bought. Hartmann 23.81. Then we have Nuama 21.79. And finally Beraldo 21.78. He goes to the reserves, just like Nuama at this moment in time. Only Hartmann onto the bench. This season's Champions League group will consist of Napoli, Olympique Marseille and Shakhtar Donetsk, the group where we should battle for top spot with Napoli. Halfway point of season number 3, and once again we are top the Portuguese League, 45.0 losses after 17 games. That is just insane. While in the Champions League we have topped our group, same points than Napoli, 7 ahead of Marseille. Which means that in the round of 16 we will get a bit of an easier opposition. It's the 16 clash between Celtic and Sporting Lisbon. 2 times green-white against each other. Can we get a win here? Away at Celtic Park, yes, it's a 2-1 win. Eric Garcia scores, gets a red, and still we win through a Pedro Gonçalves leg of the round of 16. Can we make it back-to-back into UCL quarterfinals against Celtic? Yes, it's a 1-1 draw. Pedro Gonçalves puts us through. Not pretty, but effective. 1-1, 3-2 on aggregate against Celtic. Of course, guys, in the quarterfinals, we once again had to face Manchester City. First away from home, just like last season. Last season, we knocked them out. Let's see how this season goes. It's a 1-1 draw from the first leg. Not too bad, actually. Will we become Manchester City's nemesis? Will we knock them out back-to-back in back-to-back seasons? Yes, it's a 2-1 win. Gyökeres with the winner. He's the hero. Pedro Gonçalves also scores. We win 3-2 and are off to the semi-finals in Season 3 with Sporting. And in the semi-finals, we will face Roma of all teams. First at home with a kind of tired starting 11. Doesn't matter though, we have to get past Roma. But we lose 2-3 at home. The players are a bit more in form now. They are not as tired anymore. Fitter, but will that be enough? No, we won't go to the Champions League final. Dovbyk scores for them. Gyökeres, our big striker, scores. But we bow out in the semi-finals. That is just unfortunate. 4-3 on aggregate. We lose out to Porto, to the Portuguese League title. Even though we've only lost 1 game all season, we have drawn 10. I mean, these draws, man. Don't even win the Portuguese Cup as Benfica win that over Aruca. We have been knocked out by Benfica in the quarterfinals on penalties. For the second time running by Benfica. The Champions League goes to Real Madrid, who defeat the ones who knocked us out, Roma, in the final. The Europa League goes to Villarreal over a surprising finalist in Slavia Prague. And finally, the Europa Conference League, a star-studded one, to Atalanta over Liverpool. Very, very bleak for Gyökeres. He's the top scorer, but only with 12 goals. 12 for Santos, 11 for Gonçalves, 11 for Trincao. So at least they are well balanced, those stats. The team is just coming together fantastically. Edwards is now 27, he's 84 rated. His backup Nuama is 81, 5 years younger, so he might just take his spot next season. Sar is 85 rated at 23. Yulmand 86, Gutierrez at 24, 84, Ignacio 88, Garcia 81, Diomande 85. We didn't manage to deliver the goods in Season 3. Hopefully in Season 4 we can make that final step forward. This season we will change up a lot of things. First off, we bring in a centre-back 20 years of age from the Netherlands, a free agent, in Patrick Peters, joining us for €0 at Sporting. Bragança is on his last legs, that's why we bring in a Portuguese centre midfielder. I know he played for our rivals Benfica, but right now he was in search of game time from PSG, where he didn't get it. We convinced him of the project. It is Joao Neves joining us from PSG for 61 million. Following this, we got rid of some of the best players, of our best serving players. Trincao 26.84 to Liverpool. Quaresma to Villarreal for 38 million. Garcia, we just signed a couple of seasons ago, he has gone to PSG for 29 million. And then Nuno Santos to Newcastle for 34. And Daniel Bragança to Athletic Club of all clubs for 39.9 million. What I would say though is that this squad with Peters 2080 coming in, as well as Joao Neves, who is now a backup to Sarr, this squad is coming together fantastically. We could change the formation, which I was thinking about, but in the end I decided to give this team with the same starting 11 actually, apart from Beraldo who has come in. I give this team another try. Quite a difficult group this season, alongside Liverpool, Ajax and Anderlecht in the UEFA Champions. At the halfway point of Season 4, we are once again in second place, 2 points off Porto, but still with a good shot of winning the title. Benfica all the way down in 5th. In the Champions League, we come, as expected, in second place behind Liverpool, ahead of Ajax and Anderlecht. And in the round of 16, we will face first leg of the round of 16 at home at José Alvalade against Milan. Can we get something? Yes, it's a 2-1 win. Edwards with a brace. Even though Loftus-Cheek gave Milan the lead, we win 2-1. We turn the game around. A classical stadium. Will it be a classical match as well? Yes, it's a 2-all draw. Gyökeres with a late equalizer puts us through once again for the third time running to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Quarterfinals, here we come. Parc des Princes against PSG, of course. I mean, it's only the hardest opponents you get here. Can we get something out of Paris? That is the big question. It's a 1-all draw, not the worst of results actually. The prize money question is, can we get into back-to-back semi-finals of the UCL? The answer is yes. Yulmand with the lead, the goal that sends us through to the semi-finals. Tapsoba and Gyökeres also score. But Yulmand with the winner. We go through. Guys, why am I even surprised at our semi-final opponent? It's Real Madrid, and first off we have to go to the Santiago Bernabeu without Gonzalo Inacio, our captain. Yulmand is the captain, Peters replaces him. He's not even fit himself. But oh well, let's get through hell here in Madrid. And we lose 2-1 in the first leg. Diomande gave us a little bit of hope. But Vini Jr. and Vitinha score for Madrid. We are once again behind in the semis. Will we finally get over the final hurdle or once again fumble the bag at the final stage? We have to come back from behind at home at the Alvalade. But we lose the game 3-2, so we are once again out at the semi-final stage. Vini Jr., Bernardo and Noel cause us heartbreak, guys, because I actually don't know what to do. Pedro and Edwards score, but we lose 5-3 against this Real Madrid super team. We are once again the champions of Portugal. I think 3 out of 4 times, yes, we have won the Portuguese League, so 6 points out of Porto. We've also won the double, the Portuguese Cup over Porto in the final, 4-2, dominant win. In the end, the Champions League goes to Real Madrid, of course. Who else? The Europa League goes to Fiorentina over West Ham. And finally, the Conference League goes to Aston Villa over Genk from Belgium. 19 goals from Gyökeres up to an 89. What a player. 14 goals for Gonçalves. 13 assists as well. 27 contributions in 35. 13 goals for Edwards. 13 for backup striker Ileni Kena up to an 82 at 20 years of age. Moreira would return from loan. 11 goals. Nuama 7 and 7. Team is looking very, very good. with Beraldo up to an 84, Diomande 86. We have Inacio, our first 92nd actually 90 rated player after Gonçalves. I mean, at this stage, winning La Liga Portugal has to be the absolute priority. It has to be done every single season. Winning the Taça Portuguesa is very good as well. Semi-finals of the Champions League, once again, very close yet so far. But yeah, in season number 5, I really want to attack that Champions League. That one thing that eludes us from finishing this rebuild with Sporting. First signing of season 5 will be a new centre midfielder because we will change our system. It is Radovan Jovanovic, a centre midfielder, joining us for 30 million from Real Sociedad, probably the Luka Modric or Ivan Rakitic region. Next one is a very, very big one. On the left wing, I had to pounce on this. A 21-year-old, as you can see on the top left. 87 rated Gabriel Lima. He will get a 5-year deal. And I don't know who this region is, but it's certainly a Brazilian. 200k per week. Our biggest signing yet, Gabriel Lima for 100 million from Real Madrid to Sporting. We bought one from Real Madrid. It's only right we buy one from Barcelona next. A centre midfielder. Again, as I said, we had to change up the formation. And that's when this man comes in handy. Andre Santos from Barcelona in this save for 40 million. Certain Tavares returned from loan. He's now the backup goalkeeper, 1976. We have sold Israel, our backup goalkeeper, before. And now let's go to the starting 11, where Lima is the new man, 2187. I've put him on the right as a left footer. I've also converting him to a right winger. And then, as you can see, we've only got 2 centre-backs left. 2 centre midfielders, though, now. Neves and Sarr, both in the starting 11. Santos and Jovanovic, the Modric region, as backups. Edwards goes to the bench. He, of course, gets replaced by Lima. Gonçalves still there. Gutierrez, Inacio, Diamande now. We've also sold Ernest Nuama now for 38.4 million to RB Leipzig. As I said already before, Franco Israel to Toulouse for 23. De Carvalho, a backup from the youth academy player, 1.9 to West Ham. In the UEFA Champions League, we'll face a pretty tough group with the likes of Roma, RB Leipzig and FCSB from Romania. Same points than Braga. So it's very much not over yet in terms of the league titles. We, however, did top our Group H, a very difficult one, ahead of Leipzig and Roma. And we will face Milan in the round of 16, a very difficult Milan, round of 16. Not for the first time we face Milan in this rebuild. Can we get through them? Yes, it's a 3-0 win. Gyökeres with a brace and Pedro Gonçalves with a goal. Leg should only be a formality. The players are very well rested before the second leg here. And it's a 2-2 draw. Gyökeres and Neves with the goals. Loftus-Cheek and Havertz score for Milan. But we go through 5-2 on aggregate. Spicy now as we are facing Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals. First at home at the José Alvalade. Can we get an advantage? No, it's a 2-2 draw. Musiala, Kane score for Bayern. Gyökeres and Andre Santos score for us. The big question is, will we get through away in Munich against Bayern in the second leg? Yes, 4-2 after extra time. Gyökeres actually with a brace at least. Sarr with a goal, as well as Fresneda, put us through 6-4 on aggregate against Bayern. What a classic. That is one hell of a pathway to a final. PSG in the semis, first at home. We have to face them at the José Alvalade. Can we get a good result? Yes, it's a 2-1 win in the first leg. Inacio and João Neves score our goals. Alvarez gave PSG one back, but we are up for the second leg in Paris. Will we finally get to our first Champions League final in Season 5 with Sporting away in Paris at the Parc des Princes? We win again, and it went to extra time. But we turned the game around. To Ilenike now came in for, of course, Gyökeres, very surprisingly. But he scored a goal, and Yulmand, to bring us yet another win and to proceed us to the Champions League. Portuguese League season, we are once again comfortably the Portuguese champions, 11 points ahead of Benfica. Braga all the way down in third. We also win the Portuguese Cup and make it a double for a second consecutive time, defeating Estoril in the final. Europa League goes to Man United over Aston Villa, while the Conference League also goes to England to Chelsea over Lyon. And I mean, 31 goals for Gyökeres, up to a 90 overall at 29 years of age is incredible. 31 in 37. 22 for backup striker Ile Nikena. Together they have scored 53 goals. Moraira, backup left winger, with 11 goals. 8 goals and 3 assists for Lima. A bit disappointing, but up to an 88. Edwards with 8. 7 and 9 for Gonçalves. The assists have really saved him here. Was it really the formation change that allowed us to go to that Champions League final? I don't know. But all I know is that we have an amazing squad. Chevalier is the lowest rated at 84 rating. All the others are fantastic. Look at that front three. A good midfield. Inacio, the captain, at 26, 90 overall. And in that Champions League final at Old Trafford in Manchester, we will face Juventus. Douglas Luiz. Here is Alen Obando, a big talent, into Bremer. Arezzo. Juve early doors on the attack here. They almost score. Good ball now into Timothy Weah. Timothy Weah with a good ball inside, and Chevalier with a big save. We are a little bit under the cosh here in the first quarter of an hour. We have to get out of this, but now a good corner inside. Careful, and we save that on the line. And then it goes in. Alen Obando with the lead for Juventus in the 15th minute. I mean, look at this. First off, we make a wonder save on the line for our number 2. And then, yeah, it just wasn't meant to be. Here comes our number 2, Miguel Gutierrez, trying to run down the line. He was the one who saved the goal initially. Here he plays a good ball. It is Neves into Gyökeres. 1-1. Victor Gyökeres. The Swedish Dynamite strikes here. What a ball by Neves into Gyökeres. Wasn't offside. He just squeezes it past the keeper. Here is Rovella. Rovella back to Obando, Cambiaso, Arezzo. Juve are playing nice football. Fagioli scores a goal. That was a wonderful movement by Fagioli. Here is Gyökeres, the main tool. But he has to get into great positions. Gyökeres trying to bring into the game Lima. Now Hjulmand outside the foot. And Pickford in goal. Here is Hjulmand, Sar. Good ball into Gyökeres. Gyökeres and Pickford. We are piling on the pressure here. It is a good corner inside. It's Gyökeres. There it is already. Braced by Victor Gyökeres. 2-2 between Juventus and Sporting. Great ball inside by Pedro Gonçalves. And a phenomenal header by Victor Gyökeres. And here we can go now on the counter. It's a good ball into Gyökeres. Gyökeres on goal, 1-on-1. With the keeper, he doesn't score though. What a chance missed. Good intervention by Sar in the dying seconds. Can we get forward one more time? It's a good ball into João Neves. João Neves doesn't get through, and that should be extra time. Ahead of extra time, we are bringing on De Bust for a tired Diomande, as well as Fresneda for Santos. And in the front line, I want to see Edwards. Where is he? Not for the right back. Oh. Not for Fresneda. Here is Edwards for the first time on the ball. Plays a good ball, a very good ball into Pedro Gonçalves. Pedro Gonçalves with a cross inside, but they get it out. Still ourselves though on the ball. Hjulmand with a lot of space. Good shot, good save. Pedro Gonçalves on the left. Cutting inside, still Gonçalves. Gonçalves in a shooting position, and Pickford again. Andre Santos comes in for Pape Matar Sarr. Gonçalves delivers another corner, but it gets blocked out. Edwards bringing it back inside. Hjulmand. De Bust careful not to lose the ball in this spot. But we keep it. Here is the new man, Andre Santos! That could be the winner! Andre Santos, I didn't expect him to come in and score the winner for Sporting, but that might just be what he has done here. And it was quite an exquisite goal as well. They bust Hjulmand and then very much into open space here. Andre Santos played in. Nice control and a phenomenal shot with the outside of the boot. Past Pickford, who couldn't save this one. Juventus still on the charge, trying to avoid yet another Champions League final defeat. But we defend like heroes, and that should be it. Inacio slides in for the final tackle of the game as Sporting from Portugal win the UEFA Champions League. In 5 grueling grinding seasons, we finally done it. And it took us extra time against Juventus in a highly spectacular game. But lads, if you enjoyed this video, this rebuild with Sporting, and if you want to let me do... But lads, if you enjoyed this video with Sporting, and if you want me to do other rebuilds, other ideas, they are very welcome down in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. It's been an honor to rebuild Sporting as Captain Gonzalo Inacio, a OG Sporting player who could move in the next summer, is now lifting the Champions League for Sporting. It's been Rebuild Sombrero. I let you enjoy the celebrations. I'm out.